So a few weeks back, harvested the potatoes out of this bed, and this bed in the future is going to be divided into 3 permanent beds with permanent walkways between. Ideally, I shouldn't have left it this long between flipping beds, just bare soil like this, but it is what it is. But today we're going to do our carrot bed. It's going to go right here, and what we're going to do, we're going to stale bed it. I'm going to show you in this video how we stale bed a carrot bed to prep it for the perfect carrots when you go to grow them. Because everyone loves perfect carrots. Trying to get the perfect carrot though, it's a different story. So for these 3 beds throughout this bigger area, we're standardizing it at 1200 wide rows with a 300 middle, I believe. And then for the carrots themselves, and what is going in here? We've got carrots, onions, onions, beets. We've got beets going in there. But they're going to be set in blocks, 90 center blocks by 1200. So essentially in this area, I should be able to get 2000 carrots with my farming method that I'm going to be doing. It should be more than enough carrots to supply a farmer's market for a season. I think. We'll find out. So we need 1200 right there. Use one of the irrigation pins. That guy. And 1200 here. So the method is we're doing this in the 90 centimeter blocks by 1200. They'll be successioned every few weeks. And then as we go to harvest each block, I can use this harvesting style where I'll go through and I'll pick the best carrots of the lot, allowing the others to grow bigger once there's more space becomes available for them. Because not all carrots will grow at the same rate. Thus mitigating the issue of me potentially running out or having to harvest all my carrots at once or anything like that. Hey, measure. It's killing you, isn't it? You gotta come in, but I can't trust you. Every time I let down my guard and trust you in here, you do something silly, don't you? Like chew on pumpkins, or steal my tomatoes, or trample all the seedlings. Get in there. Right, that'll do. That gives us our bed. I couldn't find my other string line. If it isn't my kids messing with my shit, it's my dogs messing with my shit. This has been shit up by the dogs. I can guarantee Valen's put my other string line somewhere. Alright, first things first, rake this out, level it, and then we're going to sift it. We're going to sift it 100 mil to create a really fine tilth. So it's a really fine soil because the carrot itself is a taproot, and if it meets any type of clump of dirt that won't give, or a rock or a piece of clay, that carrot's going to go around it, and that's going to be your end result, or it will fork around it. And you end up with weird looking carrots, suspicious looking carrots sometimes too. But what is impressive with this bed, since digging it up with the potatoes and everything like that, there's no weeds. There's a few here and there, and I'm assuming that's just from the wind blowing and weed seeds, but for the most part, this is a direct reflection of the prep I put in before the potatoes, which is awesome. It's a perfect starting point for the carrots and everything too. And the stale bedding, which we'll get onto that in a second. Give me the... Oh, there's a potato over there. I can see taters. That's a good size one too. I'm going to be fighting potatoes forever. Now, on the way of amendments and everything, I'm not doing anything like I did with the tomato bed, because if there's too much nutrients in the soil, especially nitrogen and stuff like that, your carrot will go very hairy. If you've ever grown your own carrots and you pull them out, they're covered in hairs. It's because of all the nutrients in the soil. And for the most part, there should be enough in here from all the biomass that's broken down and left of the potato roots and everything like that. And as I'm growing them, they will be supplemented with some feed, but for the soil itself, I don't necessarily need it. Okay, now to sift. This next part is going to kill my back, and it's going to take forever because there is a lot of chunky bits through all this bed. There's a lot of carbon, a lot of wood. All these sort of things are going to stop the carrots from growing nice and straight. Now, ideally, you could prep a bed really nice and soft that's sifted with tilth and then add sand as well for proper, fluffiness and structure. But I'm going to spend the next hour or so sifting this bed. So, roll the time lapse. Actually getting through this a lot quicker than I thought it would. I thought I'd stop and show you. So we're going from something like this. I don't want to go over what I've just sifted. Full, a little bits of wood in chunks, or organic matter, but it's still chunky, to this soft, powdery, a little bit of organic matter in there, but that's going to break down over the next few months anyway. And that is creating the perfect substrate for these carrots to grow in. They will dive straight down, nice and straight. Probably going to eat my words a little bit, and we end up with nice, long, straight carrots. Something everyone loves to see when they go to buy them. So I started with a bigger sieve to get the bigger chunks out, and then drop down to the small sieve just to fine it up a little bit more. This is what we're getting out of it. It doesn't look that bad when it's just sitting in the bed like that, but once you start to sift it, you realize just how much big pieces of organic matter in there. I'll save me worm. Actually, that soil's really hot. I probably just killed him. That is one bed sifted. We'll do it with the beetroots and maybe not so much onions. Maybe the onions to a certain extent, but the beetroots when we go to set that bed up, which will be next week, I think. Basically, over the next few weeks, there's just gonna be bed prep after bed prep after bed prep. There's gonna be plenty of videos coming out. That's that done. Now we'll wet it, and I'll put my panda foam over top. I don't think I'll set the irrigation up just today. Oh, will I? Kind of running out of time. I gotta get ready for work. It's already coming up 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I might set up irrigation when we go to plant out, so I've got a better idea where the spacing's gonna be. That's gonna have a big dictating factor with these carrots. These lines are gonna be to where I'm gonna do all this. So, stale bedding. The whole point of this was to stale bed this. What we're gonna do, we'll wet it down. With us aerating it like this, turning it over, sifting it, then I'll wet it. That's gonna encourage any dormant weed seeds to start trying to sprout, but we'll put the panda foam over top. So they'll sprout, they'll hit the panda foam, there's gonna be no sunlight, they'll start to die. Then we take the panda foam off, and some farmers, they'll plant their carrots, and then just before the carrots start to sprout, because they do take a little while to germinate, they'll flame all the weeds that are there, but just before the carrots sprout through. But I'm pretty sure, with the way this looks, and once we stale bed this, I'm not gonna have any weeds. Let's wet this down, wet the panda foam on, and then in a couple of weeks, we'll take it off, and there'll be little dead seedlings, and we can plant our carrots. Try not to get the camera. Yeah, butterflies, moths, whatever you are. Fuck off! This thing's gonna motor when they want to. It's crazy. It's hot. Owie! I don't think I'll put a black side up. It is hot enough. Oh my god, I panicked for a second. I didn't see this side. I only thought I had like that much. Yeah. It's too hot. If we put a black side up, it's going to cook the soil. Which, if you've got really bad soil, it's not a bad idea. It's to really kill off everything before you plant your bed. But I don't, not in this bed at least. It's finally starting to actually hold itself, sustain itself properly. So, just cover it enough to kill off any weeds that want to come up, but not bake it to death. Look at that. One roll cut in half down the middle does 2 beds perfectly. Not bad. Oh, I tell you what though, leading into winter, this tail part of summer, autumn, where it starts to get really warm, all the beds will be lined with these to start with. It's going to be so bright in this area with all the white facing up. But then as it starts to cool down, I'll change it to black, because then that's going to absorb the heat and heat up the soil. Or even go clear. Clear is even better for heating up the soil and trapping that heat in the soil. Allows that sun to get through.
Who you want me to be? Do I want to be you? Is it only a dream?
Perfect. That is so bright, it's hurting my eyes. I don't have the best eyes for bright lights anyway. Yeah. Alright. Now, we leave this bed like this for the next 2 weeks. It stays like this. And then, right before planting, I'll rip this up. We'll set the irrigation proper. Put it back down, and then we'll set up our blocks. There's going to be 3 blocks, 3 successions. 3 successions of an area of 1200 by 900, or 90 centimeters, 120 by 90 centimeters. Can't remember how much goes into each block. But all in all, this whole area, I believe, is going to be 2,000 carrots. And then, generally by the time, I think we're starting to harvest this block, this one gets replanted. And just keep cycling until I decide to flip this bed and move it over to somewhere else, because you don't want to keep growing that same vegetable in the same spot over and over and over again. That being said, I will be doing that with tomatoes. I'm going to try and run a little bit of an experiment with soil health to see if I can mitigate the disease and stuff with tomatoes. That's further down the track. This is really hurting my eyes. So, next video, I'll be setting up my modified Florida weave system that I'm going to be using. Other than that, I'll see you then.